Alright, welcome back everybody. So, well, I've got you set up in my truck bed right now because it's really windy and I hope you can hear me. Today we're talking about something that's underrated, underappreciated, whatever you want to call it for this time of year, pre-spawn, spawn, topwater. So, if you take a look around like top 5 baits for pre-spawn or whatever the video title may be, you'll see a lot of spinnerbait, crankbait, chatterbait, Texas rig, jig, you name it. One thing I don't see mentioned too terribly often is topwater. But once the water hits mid to high 50s, I'll break out the topwater box. I brought a small one with a sampling of lures that I like to use out today. But a popper is my go-to. Alright, why the popper? Versatility. It's something I can fish quick, it's something I can walk, it's something I can really slow down and work methodically around cover. It's a bait that generates a fairly unique sound that generates strikes. Other options, I love walking baits. Whether it's the Spook style, Sammy style, whatever you want to use. This is a Strike King KVD variant of, oh, what do they call it? Drawing a blank on their name for it, but this is a Sammy style from Academy. This is a cheapo. Hooks are meh compared to a Lucky Craft, but I mean, for $5 it ain't bad. Other options, once it gets warmer, that is when my frogs will come out bank fishing. About the time May rolls around, when water temperature is getting pretty high, well, higher, that's when I'll start going to the frogs. Same thing, I prefer a popping frog to the walking frog. That's just what's worked for me. Poppers are what I have confidence in. Whopper plopper, buzzbaits, two more solid options. Honestly, I don't throw these as much. The lake that I frequent gets absolutely hammered. The majority of people that I see fishing topwater, they're throwing one of these. That's the other reason I reach for the popper. Gives them a little something different to look at. Alright, I'm going to stop yapping for a second, cut to a couple clips from fishing the other day, and we'll be right back here with color selection. Oh. All right. I had too much slack in the line. All right. There he is. That's a decent fish. Stay down. Stay down. No, 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 you're about to jump. No, you're about to jump. Yes, sir. Oh boy. Oh, that feels good. After getting skunked yesterday. The old Mega Bass Pop Max. Come on, get out of there. Alright, before we get into color selection, just want to point out a couple things of what not to do. So the fish I missed, two things went wrong there. Two things I did wrong there. Didn't finish out my retrieve and just went ahead and reeled it right back in. Second, didn't throw a follow-up bait immediately after. If I did either one of those things, I might have been able to pick that fish up, but I got antsy. Oh well. Alrighty, color selection. One color I throw in pretty much any and all conditions is bone. Just that nice opaque white. For whatever reason, it doesn't seem to matter. Clear, stained water, cloudy, sunny, gets bit. For clear water, especially clear sunny conditions, I will go to the ghost patterns, the transparent. Usually a ghost shad type of pattern. Ghost bluegill is also a good option. Outside of that, I will stick with the opaque patterns, like the sexy shad, if I can hold it, like the sexy shad, a couple variations there, or like this striped king. I think this is green gizzard shad. During overcast days, stained to dirty water, a lot of times I will go to more of a chrome to get more reflection. That fish I managed to actually catch is on this particular bait here, the Mega Bass. It was a cloudy, rainy day. I picked this color because while it's kind of a natural color, this has that kind of oily, what's the word I'm looking for? That kind of oil slick reflective finish on the bottom of it, so it does give a bit of shine. Frogs. Most of the time I will go with a white. If I go with a natural pattern like this, I will just make sure that it has a lighter belly. That's what I'm looking for, just a lighter belly than what's on the rest of the body. I mean, if you look at a live frog, the majority of them are going to have a white, light tan, yellowish belly. Buzz baits, I treat them like spinner baits. Majority of the time, it's going to be white and chartreuse. This particular one is a black and blue, which I would probably reserve for more or less chocolate milk type of water. One thing I am lacking in the topwater department is bluegill variations. I'm a big believer in bluegill colors and crankbaits, especially bank fishing. I love a bluegill swim jig. I'm lacking bluegill colors in my topwater selection, so that is something I will be adding. Both the opaque and the transparent variations of that. So when do I throw all this stuff? Majority of the time, well, when I have time to get out and fish, it's usually early morning or late in the evening. That is prime time for topwater fishing. You can't get on a bite all day with it. You just gotta have the right set of conditions. When it's raining like in the previous clip, I love topwater. It usually produces for me, especially if there's little to no wind. Rainy days, overcast days will branch out from morning and evening, but for the most part, it's those early morning and later evening hours. As far as where I'll throw these, anywhere. I'll throw them pretty much anywhere. I'll throw any other reaction bait. This time of year, I'm looking for shallower points, secondary points, ideally with rocks or stumps or something on them. That spot I was fishing in the previous clips was a shallow road bed on the side of a flat with deeper water nearby. Rocky flats, round laydowns, brush piles, any kind of structure you can throw it around, that's where I'd want to focus on. So I almost forgot. What do you throw this on? I prefer a shorter rod, casting obviously. This is a St. Croix Mojo. It is a, I always say 6'9", but it's a 6'8" medium power extra fast. It's branded as a Topwater rod. Sharp. I love this rod because it, let's see if I can get it in frame here. It's got a nice soft tip to it, but it loads up pretty early on, about the top quarter of the rod. This loads up well, casts the bait well, but it's got a decent backbone. For any kind of bait with a treble hook, you're going to want that softer tip. That'll help keep them pinned. So I also use this as a jerkbait rod, and it works out pretty well. Reel, this is a Daiwa T3 1016. Fantastic reel. I wish I still made them. Line. I've got this spooled up with 15-pound PLine. 12, 15-pound, that is typically my go-to. I'll also throw this on braid, either 20 or 30-pound with a leader. Oftentimes the same PLine. The big thing with topwater rods, I want that shorter rod. It makes it easier to work the baits most of the time. Realistically though, as long as you're not using a noodle or a broom handle, you're probably going to be fine. If you're just going to carry one rod with you, I would have like a 6'9" or 7 foot medium heavy, fast action. That's going to be a pretty versatile setup for you. If you're going to throw this a lot, I would get a dedicated topwater rod though. This St. Croix Mojo is a fantastic option. Recently they've gone up in price, unfortunately. I'll throw in a link below in the description if you're interested in it. Alright, so if for whatever reason you haven't been throwing topwater in the spring, give it a shot. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next upload.